Straight ahead on 12 News, home builders hit a peak not seen in years. Then a young Robbinsdale girl reaches a milestone with homemade blankets. But first, vandals leave a mess in a city park building.
It's going to be very expensive to replace and repair the items.
12 News starts right now.
Crystal police are asking for the public's help after vandals damaged a park activities building.
A city official discovered the mess the day before Christmas, and as Cassie Bonstrom explains, police now want to find the culprits and hold them accountable.
That was a mess, yeah.
It wasn't a very Merry Christmas Eve morning.
That was a surprise.
When Rick Rowan stopped by Becker Park.
I came in here and lo and behold, this is what I saw.
The park superintendent simply wanted to check that the heat in the building was working. Instead, he found broken mirrors, litter thrown around, and fire extinguisher foam covering every surface.
They literally touched just about everything they could have in here.
Lieutenant Dave Oyas is working to track down those responsible.
Somebody knows something, and we're looking for anybody that's willing to bring tips forward.
He won't say how the vandals got into the building, but one thing is very clear.
The only intent in being in here was to damage the place. It's just nothing but a purely malicious act.
I just can't believe somebody would do that.
Crystal's recreation director, Jean Hackett, says residents use the building year-round.
It hurts them most of all.
But this vandalism will have a big impact on other city projects as well.
The city of Crystal thinks that they may have to pay for this damage out of pocket, which means the money will have to come out of other funds.
So while the vandals clearly didn't have any Christmas spirit Tuesday morning, Jean hopes someone will do the right thing now.
I'm hoping that our community will rally and find out the information and get it to the police.
In Crystal, Cassie Bonstrom, 12 News.
Crystal police are offering a $500 reward for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for the vandalism. And if you have any information, you are asked to call them at 763-531-1020. Maple Grove and Plymouth are in the middle of a building boom.
When it comes to residential construction, both cities are in the top 5 in the metro for building, and it's not just single-family homes. In the northwest suburbs, the story is building. In Maple Grove's High Grove development, dozens of new townhomes are under construction.
You know, 3-4 bedroom townhouses with basements, 2-car garages.
New single-family homes are being built in Maple Grove too, but about half of all the residential construction in the metro right now is multi-family units. Think townhomes, twin homes, condos, and apartments.
I think it comes to an affordability issue. As housing prices begin to rise again and housing stock becomes a little bit more expensive, then multifamily units become attractive.
Suitable for both first-time homebuyers and empty nesters looking to downsize, multifamily units are fueling the building boom in Maple Grove and Plymouth.
When we're done with this, we'll have around 140 in here.
According to the Builders Association of the Twin Cities, Maple Grove and Plymouth come in at second and third behind Minneapolis when it comes to the number of residential units built this year. In Maple Grove, more than 60% of the building is multifamily units, such as these townhomes.
And I think we're going to see more of that constructed in 2014.
It's a sign there's a market once again for housing. In the metro area, the number of building permits issued this year for residential housing passed the 10,000 mark, and that's a number that's not been seen since 2006.
As the year comes to a close, the employment picture in the Northwest Metro is the best it's been in years. The unemployment rate is well under 5%. In Brooklyn Center and Crystal, it was 4.7% in November. That's a big improvement since last year when Brooklyn Center was above 6%. Brooklyn Park came in at 4.2%, and Plymouth and Maple Grove were both under 4%. And all this comes at a time when Congress plans to debate long-term unemployment benefits. Unemployment benefits will end in the next week for more than 2,300 Hennepin County residents. Well, there is a warning from Minnesota district courts about an email that appears to be from an official court, but is not. The email has a title that says Notice to Appear. It includes an attachment that you're supposed to open, but you should know that that's a common way for scammers to spread a virus or gain access to your computer. The Minnesota Judicial Branch says that email did not come from state courts.
Minnesota's AARP chapter says a proposed rate increase by CenterPoint Energy will hit customers on fixed incomes the hardest. CenterPoint wants a $44 million increase, but there's opposition from state government and consumer groups. AARP says many elderly Minnesotans can least afford an increase. The Minnesota Department of Commerce is asking that the proposal be cut in half. CenterPoint says it needs the increase to keep the system reliable. The Public Utilities Commission is taking public comments on the proposal until the end of the year. A decision is expected in the spring. A 9-year-old Robbinsdale girl saw a need and she decided to take action.
12 News reporter Sonia Goen shows us how Lainey Murphy is spreading a little warmth at North Memorial Hospital.
Oh, look at her little eyes. They're so cute.
Babies in the NICU unit are small and need constant care.
Welcome to the world, little baby.
Many of the babies here have to spend time away from their moms and dads.
She came to me one day and she just said, "Mom, I think I should make some blankets for the babies who don't get to sleep with their mommies." And so we went with it.
I thought that they would have something with them to keep them like cozy and warm.
Lainey Murphy's been making the blankets for 2 years. You might call it a labor of love.
I helped my grandma make some, but I helped my grandma make some.
This summer, Lainey held several events to buy supplies to make the blankets.
Yeah, my lemonade stand was a bit help. Some blankets are bigger than others, but this is usually a bigger blanket is. And for boys, I'll have a blue cover, and for girls, I have a pink cover, or greens for both.
Earlier this year, Lainey reached a milestone.
I actually donated 100 blankets, 100 babies. I was just happy as could be.
She's not the only one who's happy.
There's a little Lainey's love tag to know that Lainey made them just for the little babies.
She recently got a letter from a mom whose twins received 2 blankets.
They sleep with them every night, and they just love them. They can't stop holding them or anything. They love them.
The nurses in the NICU unit are also warm and fuzzy over the blankets.
To know that there's people who go out of their way, and when they're this young, it's been a great response.
Lainey says she hopes the blankets help to give the babies a good start in life.
I feel happy that they got welcomed to this world, and they are going to have a happy life. I hope they do.
In Robbinsdale, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
And next year, Lainey is setting her goal even higher. She hopes to make 300 blankets. Well, coming up, a look back at some of the top stories of 2013.
And later in sports, it's a thriller as Benilde takes on Bloomington Jefferson in holiday tournament hockey.
But first, get ready for some serious cold in your AccuWeather forecast. We are visiting each of the 9 cities we cover to take another look at the biggest stories of 2013.
In today's Year in Review, we head to New Hope, Crystal, and Robbinsdale, where reporter Shannon Slatton wraps up what made news in those cities.
This is a long sought-after dream. And
New Hope started 2013 by removing the old to make way for something new.
have it more of the central gathering place in the city of New Hope for events and shopping.
The old Kmart came down while city planners dreamed of a mixed-use property with lots of possibilities.
The hope would be it's a gathering space, and that's what most city centers are.
Change also came by way of a major facelift to the Midland Shopping Center on Winnetka.
We've been in New Hope for 20 years, and we love the opportunity to continue to serve our customers. They know us here, they love us here.
Residents in New Hope and in Crystal were not excited about a garbage dilemma this fall. The cities chose not to do curbside pickup because they just couldn't find the right trucks for the job.
This is really a good benefit. But we don't have trucks. If we don't have trucks, we can't pick up the stuff.
Back on the job! Right now! Back on the job! Right now!
Crystal also saw controversy surrounding the extended leave of 2 police officers who said they were disciplined for criticizing the police chief.
What is going on? This is almost a year. This is not right.
One officer was fired. The other has since returned to work.
In Robbinsdale, a water main leak caused a big sinkhole that disrupted traffic and business.
It hurt business. I figured I lost almost 300 customers that Saturday.
The nearby Rainbow Foods closed.
It's surprising because this store been here forever.
Leaving the city investigating options for bringing a new grocery store to town. But trendy restaurant Travail shook things up by tearing down their building, opening a new one, and a pizza joint too.
Getting ready to catch this big boulder of human beings that are about to jump into this place, but we have a feeling that people are going to like the space.
And finally, Robbinsdale Robins Reminiscing. The first all-school reunion attracted 3,000 people.
I made lifelong friendships. Robbinsdale was just one of the greatest times of my life.
For Year in Review, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
And coming up on Monday, we head to Golden Valley and Plymouth for a look at the big stories of the year in those cities. Coming up, why a local comedian will be leaving the stage soon.
And up next in sports, the Armstrong, Cooper, and Champlin Park girls hockey teams start strong in holiday tournament play. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back. John Jacobson now with sports, and seems like Edina always provides pretty good competition in hockey. Yeah, they really know how to do it.
For decades now, and that happened to Breck on Thursday night. The Breck boys hockey team is ranked #1 in the state in Class A. The Mustangs are in the top bracket of the Schwann Cup tournament against all Class AA schools. Breck meets defending state AA champion Edina in the quarterfinals. Chris passing on the rush for Edina. Kiefer Bellows takes the return pass, scores on the wrist shot from the slot. It's 1-0 Hornets after one period. Second period, and Breck looks to tie. Michael Orkey to Will Blake, but his shot somehow doesn't go in, hitting the crossbar. Coach Kurt Giles and the Hornets stay in front. Edina makes it look easy as Garrett Waite hits Dylan Malmquist for the shot and goal. The Hornets take a 2-0 lead on the Mustangs, who came in without a loss. In the third period, Breck on the power play, and they work it around to Mark Sharp for the slap shot goal. That one brings Breck within 3-1. But Edina seals it as Waite sends it across to an open Bellows for the hammer and goal. Breck falls for the first time this season. 4-1, Edina is the final. Benilde's boys hockey team hosts a very good tournament this week. The Red Knights taking on Bloomington Jefferson in the quarterfinals. A defenseman's nightmare here. He can't locate the rolling puck, and Jefferson's Johnny Panveka takes advantage and scores for a 1-0 lead. A nice goal as Tyler Johnson sets up Frankie Moore, who dekes the goalie and tucks it in for a 2-0 Jaguars lead. Late in the first period on the power play for Benilde, Ben Newhouse sends it across to Johnny Austin for the one-timer. The Red Knights trail it 2-1 after one. They get the equalizer in the second period. The pass is flipped out front, and Evan Fleming buries it. Benilde battles back to tie it up 2-2. Down 3-2 late in regulation, BSM attacks. The puck finds its way across to the crease. Carter Rue, he knocks it home. It's 3-3. This one ends up going to a shootout. And here's the winner. Tyler Johnson is patient, waiting for the goalie to come in, and he tucks it in before falling as the Jaguars skate past the Red Knights 4-3. Also in that tournament, Blaine beats Maple Grove in another quarterfinal, while Wayzata edges Moorhead 3-2. The Trojans play Jefferson Friday night at 7:30 in the semifinals. The Champlin Park girls hockey team has not given up a lot of goals this season. The problem for the Rebels is that they haven't scored a lot either. They were looking to improve their record to 6-8 on the season as they face Simile in the quarterfinals of the All-Star Sports Holiday Classic. First period, Margie McNamara steams up the right wing and beats the Spartans goalie on the stick side for a goal. It's 1-0 Rebels. Same score early in the second period when Simile ties it. Danielle Berger fans on the first try, puts it away on the second, and it's a 1-1. Champlin Park answers, though, less than 2 minutes later. The centering pass in front, Gabby Paulsrud on the rebound scores to make it 2-1 Rebels. Nice play on this next goal by Maggie Craig, who takes the puck away, skates out front, and then backhands a pass to Sydney Pelliff, who taps it home to make it 3-1 Champlin Park. McNamara adds her second goal of the night in the third period, and Champlin Park defeats Simile in this one by a score of 4-1. Host Armstrong Cooper has never won that tournament that they host. They're hoping to change that this weekend. They face Matamidi in the quarterfinals. And they get on the board. First on the power play is Mary Verbatim. Slap shot from the center of the blue line finds the back of the net for a 1-0 lead. Emma Terrace chips the pass ahead, and Marissa Odell catches up to it here. And watch the wicked backhander under the crossbar for Odell to make it 2-0. Armstrong Cooper through one period. Second period, Matamidi turns it over. Stephanie Olson's shot is blocked, but Holly Enderle jabs it in just 1:45 into the period. Odell works her way to the high slot and slides a pass to Terrace, who backhands it home, and it's 4-0 less than 3 minutes into the second period. And they aren't done yet. Watch the passing in this play here. Verbatim to Terrace to Odell for the goal to make it 6-0. Armstrong Cooper rolls to a 7-2 win. That sets up Friday night semifinals. Champlin Park takes on district rival Anoka at 8 o'clock on the North Rink with Armstrong Cooper beating defending tournament champion Class A's third-ranked team Red Wing on the South Rink. And then the championships on Saturday. A lot of championship games in basketball and hockey going on Saturday across the state.
Whew, catch your breath, right? Thanks a lot, John. Coming up, a comedy adventure that is coming to an end.
Why a local comedian is ready to retire. We'll be right back. Check out this line for the car wash in Plymouth. With temperatures temporarily back above freezing on Friday and the fact that the washes were free, a lot of drivers thought it was a good time to get rid of a layer of salt. Plymouth Station Auto Repair was offering free washes as a thank you to its customers. It's also free hot chocolate, giving you something to sip on in that line.
You got to go for that.
There you go.
Well, for the past few years, he's helped audiences wrap up their year with a laugh.
Next week, local comedian Scott Hansen will perform his final New Year's stand-up gig at Maple Tavern. In today's Weekend Showcase, he tells our Renee Bonneau why he's retiring from the stage.
What a fun crowd, God.
For 36 years, Scott Hansen's been entertaining audiences and himself doing stand-up comedy.
For me, every time I perform, it's an adventure because I go up there basically never having an outline of what I'm going to do.
Recently, the adventure has become a chore.
I developed arthritis in my neck and spine, and it's been deteriorating pretty fast. There's some surgeries they want me to have, and I really can't have them in work.
Hansen says it's become harder to stand or sit for more than a few minutes at a time, and finding a venue to accommodate him is tough. That's why he plans to retire from stand-up in April.
Kind of want me to smoke marijuana today. What's what I need? Something else to make me hungry.
But before he stops, you can catch him on his Last Laugh retirement tour, which includes his final 2 New Year's Eve shows Tuesday at Maple Tavern. When he's all done with stand-up, he'll focus more on writing and teaching comedy.
I'll find some other things to do. I'm not going to crawl away in a corner and hide.
For Weekend Showcase, I'm Renee Bonneau.
Hansen's 2 shows Tuesday night are at 7 and 9, and you can buy those tickets in advance. That's it for now. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone.
Community Corner is coming up next.